the tech on the back end. And if Emma could mute everybody right now except for myself and Catherine. The way we're going to do this, actually, I'll let Catherine introduce herself and then tell us about the plan for the day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathleen. I'm very happy to be here. I'm the director of the New York Baroque Dance Company, and I've been working in this realm of Baroque dance with my company since 1976. And I'm happy to be working with the Minuet because, people think, you read a book, you've got the history, it's there, it always stays that way. You learn a Minuet step from Wendy Hilton or Shirley Wynn in the 1980s, and that's it. Well, actually, there's a lot of discussion currently in the early dance scene about the Minuet, and we're going to be learning the Minuet of one movement and then the Minuet of three movements. And the one that was most popular during George Washington's time was actually the Minuet of three movements. So I'm kind of excited to get to that. I'm also happy that with Kathleen, we were able to find some tunes of the period. I think that she has like and she has her fight, so we'll give it that special 4th of July feeling. We are going to be working from a book that's published by Kate Van Winkler Keller, and I think this may be on your handout sheet, but it has these. It basically tells the biography of George Washington through his dances, and he was known as a good dancer, and of course, as the President of the United States, he did open the balls with the Minuet. And the Minuet is a couple dance. So what we're going to be learning is the first lesson in the Minuet as a couple dance. Now, the music is going to be coming from Kathleen, so we're going to be kind of coordinating that. And every once in a while, I will just ask her to play, and we'll all dance together. But first, Kathleen, was there anything else you wanted to say before we dive into the physical part?
Just that Catherine mentioned handouts. When this is finished, you'll receive an email with a link to a folder that has some source material, so things that she refers to and some extra goodies you'll be able to access directly following.
Okay, well, let's get up. First, make sure that you are in a place where you have a lot of space. What I'd like you to imagine is that you are in a sphere, somewhat like the Vitruvian Man, who's in the circle, standing either in an X or in a square. So from wherever you are, see if you can just move your arms, see if you can touch that space. And this is a good way not only of warming up the body, but it's also a way of making sure you're not going to run into anything. And it sets up that 18th century space that every educated person would be taking with them. So every educated person, they have a study of where man's place is in the universe. And the noble spirit joins the earth with the heavens. And the noble spirit has that sense of openness and takes this sphere or takes this space whenever they're walking or dancing in the room. So a lot of times you'll see portraits where someone is standing like so, or maybe like this, as opposed to here or here, which is a more modern look. The reason that they have that is because they're really occupying the space and they're trying to create a balance in their own small universe in relationship to the larger universe. A lot of the dancing masters talk about the importance of the earth and that in relationship to standing. The first lessons, and actually according to Taubert, who's a German dancing master at the time of Bach, the first 4 lessons are probably just standing. So let's just look at standing. I want you to bend your knees and just roll over. And you're going to unfold. You're pressing into the floor as if your feet are roots of a tree. You're going to unfold, and then you're going to reach so that the head is going up to the heavens. So in that 18th century mindset, you're joining the earth with the heavens by just being a human being and walking straight, balanced on your plumb line. Go ahead and bend again. And press through the floor. And unfold, joining the earth with the heavens. And one more time, you're going to bend and press through the floor, unfolding, joining the earth with the heavens. And this time, you're going to just bend a little bit. And let's see if you can rise with a twist. And then bend. And rise with a twist. And bend. And rise with a twist. And again, you're going to bend and rise with a twist. And just come straight up. You're going to start from the top of your head, and you're just going to bend over like so. And now, as you're rising, feel that the weight is going into that opposite foot, and then you're coming back to the center. Go ahead and bend, and feel that your weight is going through the opposite foot. Come back to the center, and again, bend, and the weight is going into that opposite foot. As you center yourself, then one more time, you're going to bend, and go ahead and center. Let's do this exercise. This is from a fencing manual of the 17th century. Believe it or not, you put your arms up like this, and then just let them drop. And again, put the arms up, and just let them drop. And one more time, up, and let them drop. And last time, up, and let them drop. I like to include this exercise because it's important for us to understand that exercises that we think are modern actually were done centuries ago. They're not all documented, but some of them are, and that is one of them. All right, so the preferred way of standing at that time was the legs turned out. So your heels are going to be together, and you're standing straight. In order to get a sense of the balance, I just want you to lean a little bit to the right and forward. You're going to make a circle left and back. So you're just doing this from your ankles. So notice how much of your balance is actually coming from the floor and from controlling the ankles. You just feel like you're making a little circle with your body, and the other direction, going through the body like so. Very nice. Okay. Now, as a small boy, I'm sure George was told to stand up proud, to have the chin up. The shoulders are not like this, but they're sort of pulled back with a proud chest, and that everything is over the hips. You have head, shoulders, over the hips, over the knees, over the middle of the foot. And the arms should be at the side, or you have just a little bit open, like so. So this is your stand. You can now. Most people are advised, especially the men, to stand with one foot in front of the other. So we might call this a fourth position, but usually the weight is on one leg, and then the other one is forward. Or you could go forward, then shift your weight like so, or you could stand like this. For the women, it was advised to stand with a closed position, so your feet are together. But same thing, you could stand on one leg or you could stand on the other. You don't necessarily always have to stand on 2 feet. All right, so let's pretend that we already had 4 lessons with your dancing master correcting your posture, and now you're going to be walking. Albert, again, who was this, at the time of George Washington when he was a young guy, but also at the time of Bach, talks about walking in general and walking in dance. Walking in general, he says, you're just going to start, usually start with one leg behind, one leg forward. We're going to move forward on our right leg. And this is mirror image, so this is your right, this is your left. Okay, so we're here with the right leg, and you're going to pass it forward, and if you're just walking in general, you're going to put the heel down, and then the rest of the foot. And every walk should be in proportion to your own body, because part of what dance is dancing in proportion. So just look at the length of your foot, and the step should be the length of your foot. So we're going to take a step on the left, and then on the right, and then on the left. So notice how I'm trying to walk in front of myself with a line. There's a line on the floor. My right heel would be hitting the line, then my left heel, and then my right and my left. And you're warned not to overcross, walking like that, which probably might be more like a voguing these days. You're also warned not to walk like this. You have to find the middle. So it's the same thing with dancing. You don't want to walk that way. That would be probably something like Rodeo of Angus Bill. And then Talbert says when you're walking with dance, that it's the toe, but it's not necessarily the point ball heel like so. It's just like the ball of your foot, then let the heel come down. Ball of the foot, let the heel come down. Ball, foot, ball, foot. You go backwards. The ball of the foot, ball of the foot. And actually, this is really nice if anyone is doing a 4th of July reenactment and women are wearing these long skirts. This is a good thing to remember because you can push the skirt forward with your leg and then let the ball of the foot come down. And that way, as you probably will not be stepping on the skirt and tumbling forward. The same thing sideways. And of course, you can go the other side. The other direction, we had just been doing forward, back, side, side. They also they dance a lot on diagonal, so they practice actually walking on the diagonal, maybe the other diagonal, and then back on the diagonal, and back on the other diagonal. Okay, and just to get that feeling in our legs and in our bodies, just stand with your legs out, and I want you to take your right leg, you're just going to stretch it forward and change your weight. Go back and place. Take it to the diagonal, change your weight, shift back and place. Take it to the side and shift and back and place, diagonal and shift and back and place, all the way to the back and shift and forward and place. Take the right leg back and shift, forward and place, diagonal and shift, and let's take it straight to the side and shift, and then to this diagonal here, and last thing, you're just going to take it forward. So those are your directions in dancing. All right, the next thing the dancing masters talk about is this sense of mouvement. And it's interesting to me because, how many people have taken ballet class? Just raise your hand. So in ballet class, you know the ballet class starts with the plie, you do a lot of plies, and then you do the releve, right? Well, in the 18th century, they could separate it like plie and eleve, but mostly they had this concept of the mouvement. And the mouvement is actually a bend and a rise. So that's seen as one thing. It's not seen as two separate things. And you could bend and rise on the flat foot. You could bend and rise on your toes. You could also go to your toes and then bend, and go to your toes and then bend. That's another concept, depending on where the music starts and what dance you're dancing. Now, the key about le mouvement, just go ahead and bounce a little bit, is that the sense of the music is actually in the ankles. It's in the bending of the body. So let's see if we can have a little bit of music at this point, just to get this exercise. Can I just hear, I think you gave me 2 minuets, Kathleen. So not the Philadelphia Minuet, but what's the other?
Not the Philadelphia Minuet?
Well, I want to get there eventually, but do you have the other one as well? Was it, it started with the C?
Yes, I do. Hang on just 1 minute, and I will get that up for you. Let's see if we can make that work. Just to our friends, especially here on the call, we had, of course, some technical fun trying to figure out how to make that fife broadcast correctly for you this morning. So let me do a little magic here. And it was the one that started with a what? Sir Charles.
The name of it started with a C, like the Colonel something Minuet.
We have Sir Charles Sedley's Minuet.
That was it, Sir Charles, yes. Okay.
You've got that. Yep, no problem. Let me get that for you right here. All right, here we go.
I don't think I can really talk over the music. So students, what I'm going to do is give you a little exercise, and then when the music comes on, we're all going to do it together, and hopefully it is synced up. So you want to have the rise on the downbeat. So we're just going to practice that with our move on. The music is going to play da-da-dum, bum, ba, and so you have a little intro on that ba should be, that's the upbeat, that should be the plie. Dee-da-dum, bum, plie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to be down on 6. You're up on 1. You can either be 1 with just rising here, or you can go up onto your balls of feet. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, just go ahead and slowly lower the feet. So it'll be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I want you to practice is that sort of quick and that kind of easy approach to the up. 1. So you have that release in the ankles. 1, 2, 3, and then lower. 4, 5. When the 6 comes, that is, again, the upbeat to the next measure, so you have to go sort of dip and then go up. Okay, let's just try that maybe 8 times with this music. So
it's one music, but 8 steps, correct?
Okay, good point. I forgot to say that even though the music is written 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the minuet step, or the concept of the minuet step, takes 2 bars. So that's why I'm counting 6 beats to a bar. So that means, right, I'm thinking, Kathleen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the A is 4 minuet measures, or 8 measures of 3.
Yes, I believe that's correct. And you have AABB.
Right. Okay, so we're going to do, I think we could probably do AA. So that would be doing 8 of these exercises, which goes 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay, now you might see me doing something with my arms. It's because I can't just not use my arms. Again, all I'm doing is taking a bend this way, and then it's almost like you're just saying, I'm so glad you're here. Hello. 4, 5, 6. Hello. 4, 5, 6. So there's just that kind of impetus. So it goes through the whole measure, that gesture. Okay, let's try.
Sorry, just 1 second. It would have been so much easier if I could have played.
I know. I'm sorry that didn't work.
No, you're set.
Oh, good. All right. So we have the feet are out. We know what a walking step is, which is it's just one length of your foot. Now we're ready to do, let's say, a walking minuet. At the beginning, I said something about the minuet of one movement. And all that means is just that there's one plie, one mouvement in measure. And you're going to be starting on your right foot, so your weight is on your left, and you're going to plie at the beginning 6, and then you go 1, hold 2, step 3, 4, hold 5, step 6, but then also bend on the 6. So you're moving your feet 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. So that's when you're moving your feet, but you're only doing one up and down, which is at the beginning. So again, it would look like, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All right, so you have that 6 is both a transfer of weight and then going into the plie. So this is the minuet of one movement, and the rhythm that I just gave you, 1, 3, 4, 6, was actually the preferred rhythm according to our research at the time of George Washington. All right, let's try the same music, and we're going to do this minuet step over and over. I'm not going to talk over the music, but what I'd like you to do, if you can, is take a circular path with your minuet steps so that you can get a lot of them in, and then come forward for a couple, and then go back, and then we'll just pause, and I'll speak again. Okay.
Catherine, let me start from the beginning. Sorry about
That'd be great.
that. All right.
This might be a good time to go to the slower version of the Philadelphia Minuet, because I think there's a kind of a quickness that happens on the 3/4. So you notice in your own body that you have to have that sense of completing the measure. So there's an intention to the body to get to the end. So the 3/4 is sudden, but you don't stop in place. It's like 3/4, boom, kind of feel it.
It's wonderful to see a couple of the dancers in the gallery view there. And as I switch over to the slower Philadelphia Minuet, if you have any questions for Catherine about the weight transfer or how that step is going, maybe take a quick couple of questions here while I switch to the audio file.
Okay.
You can text them to Ars Lyrica in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask Catherine directly. Or is everybody an awesome dance master this morning?
I don't know. I think everybody's awesome. I could read a little bit from the School of Manners while you're looking for that.
Tell us a little School of Manners, and then we'll get right back to it.
Okay, so the School of Manners, this is a book that perhaps every child at the time of George Washington was practiced in. The rules for behavior in company. Enter not into the company of superiors without command or calling, nor without a bow. So you must always bow. Sit not down in preference of superiors without their bidding you to sit down. Put not thy hand in the presence of others to any part of thy body not ordinarily discovered. Sing not nor hum in thy mouth while thou art in company. Play not wantonly like a mimic with the fingers or feet. Stand not wriggling with thy body hither and thither, but steady and upright. In coughing or sneezing, make as little noise as possible. It does continue. After all, it is a book, and it was a book that was owned by children going to school. And in fact, George Washington copied out his own rules based on this book, probably practicing his penmanship. And one can definitely find that on the internet. Okay, so Kathleen, are we ready with a slower?
We're ready to go.
Okay, so this is it's going to be a little slower tempo. And if you just want to get the rhythm and you don't want to go up and down, you could simply walk it by going 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. If you want to add the movement, that happens on the 1, and that would look like 1, 4, that would look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to do this, and you can actually take those patterns for those people who are dancers. You can take it backwards and sideways as well, but always start on the right foot. Okay, here we go. Is that it really pushes, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like the 3, 4, 5, 6 just pushes you kind of uphill. So you have it actually works well with the movement Minuet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now, for those people, after you've practiced this for a while, the dancing master would then ask you to go to the ball of your foot. So in that case, the minuet would look like 1, and then since it's only one movement, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. So if you do it that way, you have a sense almost of an overcurve or falling onto the 6. Now, the reason this is helpful is that when we get to the movement, the 3 movements, you'll already be prepared for falling on that 6. So I'm going to go in this direction just because I need to change my circles. So if you want to change it up, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All right. Let's try that. Sometimes the music goes in and out. I'm not sure why, but in terms of the hearing, sometimes it slips.
We'll give you also in the edited stuff that you'll get at the end. I'll send you these dance files, the music as well, so you can practice with the music at home.
Great. Okay. Now, getting that rhythm, which is stepping 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. When you're putting that into the 3 movements, there's actually a little leap onto the sixth beat. So, or a little bound, as we say. And so it's not like a big grand jeté or a big leap, but a bound is really hardly leaving the ground. It looks like that. So it's just like a little kind of prance. So let's just try that. We're going to go leap, leap, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. So if you were up on 4, leap. And right after that leap comes an up. So the body goes leap, leap, and then it goes that way for the downbeat. So the link between one measure of the minuet to the next measure of the minuet is leap that goes down, and then go into the rise to take the demi-coupé, which goes up. Let's just practice that transition. Doesn't matter what leg you're on, just going forward, and the practice is going to go leap, step. Okay, so it's only two measures. Two actions. I guess you should probably be leaping on your left leg. So you're going to go leap, step, and again, leap, step, and let's go back. Leap, step, leap, step. All right, so taking that concept then very slowly in the minuet, you're going to go little plie, rise 1, and then you actually have dip for 2 steps, and then you have the leap. Okay, so what we're putting in are the 3 mouvements or the 3 level changes, the 3 times the levels change. The first is on the downbeat. 1, we're going to come down 2, step. So that's your the second movement. 3, 4. Then you're going to have another dip here. You can say it's on 5, and then you bound on 6. Okay, so step here, dip, step, step, dip again, and bound. Now, everything is not equal. There's not equal value. So you have a quick plie up on the 1. They advise you to go down on your heel on the 2, and then on the and, you're going to plie or bend. Then you're stepping 3, 4. You're going to take the plie now on the front foot here, and in the air 5, land 6, but go right into the plie, and that plie is the preparation for the next one. Okay, so maybe I'll do it this way. So with your right foot, you're going to be stepping 1, then 2, up, 3, 4, then 5, leap 6. Okay, one more time. And you rise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so you notice I did that flat footing. That's a choice. Flat, 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 down. You can leave that foot behind you, but it's going to come quickly through to do the repeat of the minuet step. Let me just start a little bit back further here. Oh yeah, this will see me. Okay, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. Okay, now, usually the arms are not here, Usually the arms would just be doing that little sort of port de bras that we did before. All right, so we're going to do it again with the music, and you have your choice. The choice would be, to go just to the flat of the foot. So you still do the mouvement. 1, 3, 4, and still to bound 6. Or if you want to use the ball of your foot, you can go 1, heel down 2, up 3, 4, and then come down on that front leg to release the back foot to go ahead and jeté. All right, I think we're ready, Kathleen, for the slower version of the Philadelphia Minuet. Did I see anybody? Not too bad. I saw a thumbs up. That was good. Okay. So you have the ups and the downs. You have a sense of what that step is. And again, this is only one step of many steps. And now the story of the dance is told with the steps, with the relationship of the dance to the music, but also with what's happening spatially. The other thing that one learns right at the beginning, actually after standing and walking, is the bow. And there are very many bows. The bow is usually done to the beginning of the minuet phrase, and the bow is actually a part of the dance. So we're going to learn a bow for a man and for a woman, and then we're going to talk about the path and space that you take, which helps to tell the story. So for the gentleman, let's say that we're, I think I'm going to have to, just for my own sake, I'm going to have to turn my body around so that I'll be on the same foot as you are. So if I'm the gentleman, let's say I'm here, and my partner will be on this side, so this is my right hand. Gentlemen, just go ahead and take a step away from your partner, and just go out to the side. And when I say out to the side, I mean it's going to be just a step with the legs apart. We're going to bow like this, and then you're going to bring the other foot in. Again, there are many bows, but this bow with the legs apart was popular during the end of the 18th century. So then you've got your lady, she's here, let go. You're going to take a step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bow, and scrape. And actually that is done to, well, here we have like the king and queen, the presents right there. So that would be done to the people who were sponsoring the ball, the king and queen, the president and the first lady, the governor and his wife, whoever was being honored at the ball. So first, as a couple, you honor those people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bow, and scrape, and then to your partner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bow, and scrape, and be ready to go on your right foot. For the woman, it's somewhat easier. First of all, I've got a long skirt, so people can't really tell what you're doing with your feet very much. But you would be here, and you would be holding your partner's hand with your left hand. You would let go, and go ahead and separate. So take a step close to the side. So you would go step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bow, and straighten, and then face your partner, and close, and bow, and straighten. And then remember to have your right foot ready, because the minuet begins on the right foot. All right, so in the Philadelphia Minuet, or in any of the minuets, you have those, say, first floor minuet measures to honor the presence and then to honor your partner. Then the next thing, so let me pretend that you are, I'll be on the man's side, and I'm pretending that you are the audience or the presence. And so I would be taking my bow here and bow, and then I would scrape, then I would face my partner, and I would bow, and I would scrape and be ready to go forward. In this case, I think I will take her hand, and since I'm doing mirror image, oh my God, it means that, okay, I think I'm going to forget mirror image at the moment. So I'll just be towards you as if you're the audience. And I would take, let's say, 2 minuet steps going in this direction, make them small because it's a smaller room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now, you've probably run out of space. In that case, just go to the side, step 2, 3, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just let the one measure go by, the fourth measure. Because there's a lack of space, we're not going to continue to go. It's often advised by the dancing masters to be able to measure your space so that you don't run into people or you don't run into furniture. Very good advice. Okay, so that's kind of like the introduction. That's like saying hello to everybody at the wall. As you're coming forward, you're not just staring straight ahead. You look at your partner here, and maybe look at people here, and look at the people at that side, and at that side, and then let's just look at your partner again. Okay. Then the next figure is getting you to the corner of the geometry. So that would be going backwards. In this case, could take 2 measures back. Da, ya, bum, bum, ba, ya, da, da. And then the man is going to go forward, ya, bum, ba, here. And he's going to end up in this corner. And the woman is going to go ahead and take a circle this way, and then move to her corner here. We will be sending you some supplementary material, and you'll see where there's like a Z figure, and there's a giving of the right hand and a giving of the left hand. And the idea with this is that each phrase has its story of the courtship. So the courtship is first, we are part of this community, we're doing our introductory figure, and now we're getting to our place. The Z represents perhaps walking in the garden or walking and discovering this person. So the Z pattern is a meandering path. You pass your partner on the way. You find that person is quite interesting, and so you introduce yourself by giving the right hand. Your partner comes from the opposite place, takes the right hand, and perhaps just go this far and let go. Then you want to get to know her better. Perhaps you can offer the left hand immediately. However, you do have the choice of making another Z pattern, which would give you more time to flirt and more time to think, oh, do I want to really get to know this person better? Then you can also insert another Z pattern, meandering path, before you go to both arms. And the figure with the both arms is representing maybe a truer commitment to the idea of, for instance, if it's a minuet at a wedding, that would be a true commitment to the marriage. Or if it's just at the ball and you dance this person for the first time, perhaps it's more just, yes, let's get to know each other. But the reason the minuet was taught to everybody was because it has this politeness about it. It has a sense of how do you offer a hand to a person. How do you accept a hand? You need to know that in general, whether you're dancing or not. With the man, there's a whole ceremony of taking the hat on and taking the hat off and then placing it back on the head. Basically, you take your hat off when you're offering a hand. When you let go, you put the hat on. So being able to practice how to put the hat on with one hand, one arm, how to place it back, looking graceful, that sort of thing that you need to know in general is taught and coached in the minuet. All right, just a little bit of background about the Philadelphia Minuet. In 1757, Lord Loudon, who was the new commander of the British Army in America, called for a conference. And so at this time, we're not in the Revolution. This is just like at the end of the French and Indian War. Washington comes, and Washington attends the party. And at the party, this tune is being played, which is called the Philadelphia Minuet. And it's just a minuet for two people. It's not a group minuet. They had group minuets, but they always opened the ball with just two people at a time. And so we're going to try this. I realize it's like 10:50. We have 10 minutes. But let me see. What we should probably do is just do the pathway. Let me talk through the pathway once, and then we're going to walk the pathway with the music, but you won't be able to hear me. And then we'll refresh our idea of the minuet step, and then we'll put the minuet step with the pathway to the music. Okay, So,
Catherine, as you're getting ready to do that, I did mention about the Mount Vernon. I don't know if any of you happen to see that post from Ars Lyrica about the Mount Vernon preview of the minuet, and you mentioned the difference between that as a walking minuet and the actual dance of the minuet. Since you mentioned that you were about to walk through the step, I wondered if you could address that.
Sure. Sometimes there is a walking minuet step, but the walking minuet step, it's like the one that we were doing without the ups and downs. That was like the minuet of one movement, which meant 1, 4, 3, 4, 6. However, I believe that in this Mount Vernon minuet, you just see people walking like this. They're just walking the patterns. Now, in George Washington's day, they did not do that. They may have walked, but they walked to the rhythm of the music. Because just walking through the rhythm of the music doesn't really give that sense of dancing. It was with Cyril Beaumont, who I think it was like at the end of World War II, was putting together and kind of reviving folk dances. Actually, probably before World War II, but it was the first half of the 20th century. And he gave the impression at that point that people walked the dances. So there's been this controversy in the sort of country dance sphere as to whether you should be walking these country dances or dancing them with pas de bourrées and leaps. I'm sure that both happen. Why do I say that? Because some people have more time to practice, some people have less time, but let's face it, everybody wants to dance. Okay, so we'll hear a little introduction, and then we'll go immediately, not the demand side, we'll go immediately into the bow to the presence, and then we'll take the bow to our partner, and then we'll be ready to go on the right foot. So in this case, I'm using my true right foot, and you take two minuet steps, patterns, you might say, forward, and then a balance, step to the right, step to the left, admire your partner. And then we have 4 more measures, and we're going to take 2 back, make them small, and then you let go of your partner. She's going to go to her corner, you're going to go to your corner here. And that will be the end of the A. The first A are the bows, the second A is actually the introduction, and then we get into the B. And the B is actually 5 measures. So once you get here, you've done it to your corner, she's at her corner. Go ahead and take the balance once more to the right, to the left. Okay, I think we could probably fit that much in. Let's try it with the music. And if you want to dance, go ahead. If you want to just walk the path, I'll just walk the path with you this time. Then we'll just go right, turn the music on again at the beginning, and then do it with the steps. people to ask some questions. If we were in a real studio, I would make you do it 5 more times. But I can't really see what everybody's doing. So let me see if we can ask some questions here.
Emma, are you
right? You always dance the minuet with another person. Well, actually, there are some solo minuets for women. So you could do a solo minuet, yes. Could you demonstrate the balance footwork? Ah, Sarah, okay. Okay, so for the footwork, again, you have the option. You can either go plie and step on the flat foot, and then as you plie, bring this here and step on the other flat foot. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it could be the demi-coupe. 1, hold 2, down 3, and 4, hold 5, down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it's advised that the foot comes in to that heel as a little ornament before you take the next step. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good, Sarah. Okay, another question? Okay, let me just read a little bit. Thought I had something here. Yes, it was about a little bit about walking. And it goes, for it is common and not insignificant error of young people, be they male or female, to stand with the toes of both feet facing forward, straight as a surveyor's rod, or the needle of a magnet always pointing toward the pole star. If you stand with both feet facing straight forward or turned out too far to the side, you will be stronger in one direction than the other. And it would be seen to be affected and stinking of pomposity. This is from Talbot. He says, but some wish to show off their pious humility and to give everyone the impression that they have nothing to do with elegance and worldliness by entering wobbling and slipshod, placing their feet straight out in front of them like a hen who can't help wanting to strut proudly from time to time. On the other hand, there are those who fancy they walk in a really spruce and dashing way by swaggering from side to side in what they would call a brave, heavy dragoon's walk, moving their feet as if at their riding academy. Nevertheless, among polite folk, they inspire disgust. They receive the insulting name of bumblefoot. So, in case you're inspired to read some of these dancing masters, especially the translation of Tauber, be prepared for some wit, some humor. Maybe it's period humor, but they did try to amuse their audience while instructing them. Could you demonstrate the arm movements of the man during the minuet? Has anyone figured out who taught Washington to dance? Aha! Washington took lessons. Apparently, he was trained in fencing and the other arts. Often the fencing teacher also was the dancing teacher. I have not found out who the teacher was for him, but I did find out who the teacher was for his children, which was a dancing master by the name of Newman, and like Paul Newman. Wouldn't that be nice? So at least I can tell you who the kids were. Okay, for the men, usually the women held their skirt, so we didn't really get into that. But the men are doing this little port bras, and they could also do, if they're not holding hands, of course they would do that. If they're doing this little balance, they could take the same foot as the leg on the balance, so it would be here. And pretty much that's it. We didn't get into the Minuet Hop, which has a little more of a leap to it, which would look like that. Believe me, this is a very complex dance, even though it's the simplest dance. And this is only the surface. Remember that I told you we would have spent like 4 lessons on standing, 4 lessons on walking. You've learned a lot. You've learned like a month's worth doing this minuet, but it's all crammed together, so you really didn't even get to all the variations.
And Catherine, do you teach a regular class on this that people can access online?
We do a couple things. If you go to our Facebook page, the New York Road Dance Company, you can sign up for our Zoom class, which is every Wednesday. It's usually taught by Caroline Copeland. And with Eastern time, I believe it's 11 o'clock to 12 on Wednesdays. I teach Dance of the Month, and sometimes it alternates with other dancers. So it's the first Saturday of every month. And today's the first Saturday of July. So again, it'll be at 3:30 today, Eastern time, or 2:30 Texas time. And that's going to be a bourrée. We're doing a French bourrée in honor of the French participation in the American Revolution. And we're also giving some wonderful workshops. We have one at the end of July. And if the COVID-19 is not too bad, it'll be in the studio in the next couple of days. If it seems like it's going to be not possible, then we will Zoom it. But we do have like a really wonderful international historical dance at play, Welcome Home, Zoom workshop the first 2 weekends of August. And everything is affordable, so please feel free. The class on Wednesday that we give, this was actually Caroline's idea at the beginning of this whole COVID-19. A lot of dancers are out of work. Of course, our dance company's out of work. So we just started giving these classes free so that dancers could take them so they didn't have to pay. And the classes have remained free. If you would like to donate to the company, that's fine. But truly, anybody can join us.
And if you've enjoyed Catherine talking about all these bits and pieces that come together to make this beautiful art, I encourage you to log on tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock to hear Catherine sit down with our own Matthew Durst for an amazing and interesting chat as they look back at some of the collaborations that they've done together.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your time today, Catherine. We're so grateful for it.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.